Welcome. We will walk through 3 questions together, focusing on identifying the primary intent and specific requirements of the message. Let's get started. If you're finding these tips helpful, make sure to subscribe to myTOEFL for more bite-sized lessons. Let's keep working toward your target score together. All employees Urban Media, com. The message is addressed to all employees Urban Media, com, indicating this is a company-wide announcement. As a student, always identify the audience first to understand the context. Elmore's Urban Media, com. Sent from Elmore's Urban Media, com. The sender likely holds an administrative or managerial role. The domain suggests a professional business environment. No 5-10-10-T-2025. The date 05-10-10-2025 is provided here. In TOEFL emails, keeping track of dates helps you organize the timeline of upcoming changes or deadlines. Transition to shared desk policy. The subject line, Transition to shared desk policy, immediately signals a major change in office logistics. It prepares the reader to learn about new rules regarding workspace usage before they even start the first paragraph. Dear employees. The greeting, Dear employees, is professional and inclusive. This formal tone is typical for official policy updates sent to an entire staff. Starting Monday, May 19th, our office will transition to a shared desk policy to provide more flexibility. The text begins by announcing a transition to a shared desk policy to increase flexibility. Notice the use of starting Monday, which sets a clear timeline for when this change takes effect. Under this new system, permanent seating assignments will be removed. By stating that permanent seating assignments will be removed, the author clarifies the immediate impact on the staff. The transition phrase under this new system bridges the old way of working with the new rules. Instead, you must reserve a workspace through the company's mobile app before arriving at the office. The focus shifts to the process in this new paragraph, requiring staff to reserve a workspace through the company's mobile app. The word instead marks a clear shift from the previous mention of removed seating to the new solution. Daily reservations open at 7 p.m. the previous evening and close once all 30 available desks are booked. This sentence adds a sense of urgency, noting that reservations close once all 30 available desks are booked. The phrase, previous evening, is a key detail for students to remember regarding the timing of the reservation. Please ensure you clear all personal belongings from your desk at the end of every shift. The text moves to a new point about clean workspaces, instructing staff to clear all personal belongings at the end of every shift. The imperative, please ensure, signals a direct instruction or requirement. Lockers have been installed in the hallway near the elevators for your use. To support the new clean desk rule, the author mentions that lockers have been installed in the hallway. This provides a logical solution to the problem of where employees should store their items. You will need your employee ID card to operate the digital locks on these lockers. Pori's author specifies that an employee ID card is the key to using the new storage. Highlighting a specific tool like digital locks helps students identify necessary items for the task. Best regards. A standard professional sign-off like best regards maintains the formal yet respectful tone of the office environment. Linda Morris. The sender, Linda Morris, is the person responsible for relaying these administrative updates. Knowing the sender helps verify the authority of the instructions provided. What is the main purpose of the email? This question asks for the main purpose of the email, which requires us to look at the overall message. Focus on the primary change being announced throughout the text. Now, keeping this in mind, let's look at our options. Let's take a closer look at option A. To announce the removal of the office elevators. We should eliminate this because the text mentions lockers near the elevators, but never says anything about the removal of the elevators themselves. Now, let's examine option B. To inform staff about a new system for selecting workspaces. This is a strong choice because the text explicitly describes a new system for how staff reserve a workspace. It matches the core intent of the shared desk policy. Here's option C. Let's break it down. To provide a list of prices for office lockers. While lockers are mentioned, the email does not contain a list of prices, so this option is an incorrect detail. Finally, let's evaluate option D. to hire a coordinator for the company's mobile app. The mobile app is just a tool used for reservations, not the subject of a hire or job advertisement, making this a distractor. The correct answer to this question is option B, since the entire email focuses on explaining the shift to a reservation-based desk system. What is required to use the new storage units in the hallway? This is a detailed question asking what is required to use the storage units. We need to find the specific item mentioned in the paragraph about lockers. Now, keeping this in mind, let's look at our options. Let's take a closer look at option A. A digital code sent via text message. Although the text mentions digital locks, it never specifies a text message being used for access, so we can eliminate this. Now, let's examine option B. A personal identification card. This matches the text perfectly, as the passage says you need your employee ID card, which is a type of personal identification card. This is our correct answer. Here's option C. Let's break it down. A paper form signed by a manager. There is no mention of a paper form or a manager being involved in accessing the lockers. The process is digital. Finally, let's evaluate option D. A physical key from the security desk. The lockers use digital locks, so a physical key from security is not required. This choice contradicts the text. Therefore, the correct answer is option B because the text specifies that the employee EED card is necessary for the locker locks. What is implied about the availability of desks at the office? This question asks what is implied about the availability of desks. This means the answer might not be stated directly, but can be logically deduced from the rules provided. Now, keeping this in mind, let's look at our options. Let's take a closer look at option A. Staff are encouraged to arrive after 7 p.m. The text says reservations open at 7 p.m., but it does not encourage staff to arrive at the office that late. This is a confusion of time. Now, let's examine option B. The lockers are only for senior management use. The email states the lockers are for your use, the employees, not only for senior management, so this is incorrect. Here's option C. Let's break it down. Workspaces might be unavailable if not reserved in advance. Since the text says reservations close once all desks are booked, we can infer that workspaces might be unavailable if you don't reserve them. This is a logical deduction based on the limited number of desks. Finally, let's evaluate option D. Employees can no longer work at the office on Mondays. While the policy starts on a Monday, the email never says employees can no longer work on that day. It simply changes how they get a desk. The correct answer to this question is option C, since the text implies a first-come, first-served reservation limit that could result in no available desks. To master the read an email task, always prioritize the subject line and the first paragraph for the main idea. Pay close attention to specific requirements, like ID cards or deadlines, as these are frequently tested details. Finally, practice distinguishing between stated facts and logical inferences to catch those tricky implication questions.